Bank of America CEO Ken Lewis says he did feel pressured by federal regulators into completing the bank's purchase of Merrill Lynch, but he doesn't think that pressure crossed the line. I want to go back to our Peter Cook, who's up on Capitol Hill with more on that. So, Peter, what do you think was kind of the most important moment of this hearing? It went on for several hours here.
Went on for several hours. Ken Lewis taking some tough questions, taking some heat from lawmakers over a range of things, including aspects of Bank of America's business that has nothing to do with Merrill Lynch. If there was a particular moment in this hearing, Carol, I think it was when he was asked by Congressman Paul Kanjorski of Pennsylvania about the actions of regulators when they pushed Lewis to complete the deal with Merrill back in December. Let's listen carefully to that exchange.
So I'm going to ask you directly, do you think Mr. Bernanke or anyone working under the Federal Reserve Chairman took unauthorized, illegal, or improper action toward you or the Bank of America during these trying times?
I do not. I would say they strongly advised and they spoke in strong terms, but I thought it was with good intention.
That was probably the key moment in this hearing, in part because lawmakers from both sides of the aisle, Carol, sounded skeptical that Mr. Lewis didn't interpret that threat as something more than just acting in the country's best interests. They wanted to press him on that, and they're going to press Hank Paulson and Ben Bernanke, it sounds like, at a future hearing in front of this same committee on these same questions to see if those government officials did cross the line last year.
Well, it was also interesting, Peter, several lawmakers also pointed out that they understood Mr. Lewis's desire not to incriminate basically his regulator. I mean, they understood he was in a tough spot here. I mean, they certainly acknowledged that as well. What about disclosure issues, though, Peter? That also came up. I mean, is Lewis in trouble?
Yeah, they really wanted to press him on that. A couple lawmakers in particular. Did he have an obligation, a fiduciary obligation, when he learned of the mounting losses at Merrill last December, to tell shareholders to disclose that? They pressed him on it. He ultimately decided that the company didn't need to do that. And they also pressed him on whether those regulators told him not to disclose that information to shareholders. He said on several occasions, Carol, he was not told by government regulators not to disclose that to shareholders, with a decision he and the board made on their own.
Right, certainly made that point clear. Peter, thank you so much. Our Peter Cook down in Washington.